We have two representatives from the BJP point of view tonight. Mahesh Jethmalani, senior lawyer from Mumbai, and Jainarayan Vyas, senior leader from Gujarat. Most unfortunately, just 5 minutes back, our Congress representative on the subject told us he would not be able to make it. Vrinda Grover is representing the other point of view. She's the lawyer in this case, a well-known human rights lawyer and activist. Thank you. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Vrinda Grover, do you believe that this NIA document of 13th October 2010, which quotes para 168, which has the reference to Ishrat Jahan in the interrogation report of David Coleman Headley, talking about, and I quote, Zaki added that the Ishrat Jahan module was one of Muzammil's botched up operations. Do you believe this note is fake or true? And what relevance do you think it has?
Let me answer the latter part first. It is totally irrelevant to either this case or the trial. The High Court has said it. I think all lawyers, and there are 3 persons on this program today who are very conversant with law, it is totally irrelevant to the trial or the case under investigation. Who is it relevant to? It is only relevant to those who wish to now hide after having committed a gruesome crime. As long as they can keep presenting to the country that they have killed terrorists, they feel it is all right and they will be able to get political dividends even if the court of law is going to prosecute them. That is how the game is being played out. The reason why none of us have ever been interested in this is because it is actually totally irrelevant to the investigation and the prosecution. The second part, whether this document of NIA, it is not a discovery this morning. I know there are some places where it's being told new documents. It was published earlier. It was published as recently as June 22nd by Sunday Guardian, when again they said they have discovered it. So this document actually has a habit of making its appearance every now and then, every time the investigation starts moving in a particular direction. It's fairly comprehensible who wants this investigation not to move in a certain direction, vitiate the atmosphere. Let us remember very, very clearly that this charge sheet, which has now been filed before the CBI court, actually says in one of the concluding paras that they are going to continue investigation further and name 4 officers of the IB, including Mr. Rajinder Kumar, and at the end say, and others. You also mentioned things of Mr. G.K. Pillai. I think he needs to be asked why he has changed his position. However, it also, please hear his words very carefully from the way I hear them. I have no personal conversation with him. What would the Home Secretary base his earlier opinion on? Did somebody from the IB feed him this information? If he has now changed his position, is it because the NIA has now categorically stated to the Home Ministry that this has, Headley did not say this and it is not part of their report? So obviously there can be a change of position because the NIA is the only agency which has spoken to Headley. Nobody else has.
Ms. Grover, may I say?
Sushil Kumar Shinde hasn't. Nobody else has.
Ms. Grover, please. You see, one thing is very clear. I have great regard for Mr. G.K. Pillai. I've covered the Home Ministry when he was Joint Secretary there. But the fact is, with the greatest of respect to Mr. Pillai, in November 2011, he says something. In December, there's an NIA report which doesn't mention what he said. And that's what I call a U-turn. I'm not even taking what he's saying now. In July 2013, Mr. Pillai has done a U-turn on the subject. The second part is...
the basis of the earlier one?
No, second question. It does not... Does it not concern you? Does it not concern you, Ms. Vrinda Grover, that the government... No.
Yes,
let me complete. Does it not concern... Ms. Grover, please listen to me. Let's take the question and then I'll give you full opportunity, and then there are 2 gentlemen who would like to come in. I'm sorry for taking that turn. Does it not concern you as a matter of propriety and ethics that if this document is true, then the government suppressed facts in the NIA report that it published? Suppression of fact is not an important issue for you, Ms. Grover? Not a relevant issue for you, Ms. Grover? Should the government not be asked the questions on why it did so?
As the lawyer of Shamima Kausar, it is totally and completely irrelevant to me. My propriety, my ethics
as a citizen
are scandalized at the I'm coming to that, at the cold-blooded killing of a young girl against whom there is no evidence of any kind. The NIA states in its report and states again, there is an Indian Express publication today, I'm sure everybody has seen that, which says that NIA has reported to the Home Ministry that there is nothing in the report that Headley has communicated about Ishrat. There is this piece of document which keeps appearing. NIA.
I know what the Indian Express has said. The Indian Express has said. The Indian Express has said.
Where is this document coming from?
The Indian
Express claiming the authenticity of this document.
One sec.
And can we discount that the IB, which is claiming to hide behind
Ms. Grover,
is actually under investigation?
Ms. Grover,
4 of its officers are under investigation.
Ms. Grover.
Put 2 and 2 together. It's simple arithmetic.
Ms. Grover, I put the ball in Mahesh Jethmalani's court to respond to you, but with the greatest of respect to what the Indian Express has said, let me say this. That the Indian Express said that the NIA has told the MHA that David Coleman Headley has not mentioned Ishrat Jahan in his official confession. I don't know. Since when?
Correct.
Since Christopher Columbus,
Correct.
did we start having official and unofficial confessions? What is an unofficial and an official confession? I thought there's only a confession.
Kindly understand. Well, very well. I think if you want to, there could actually be very much more interesting stuff than that, which could be in the so-called unofficial confession. Let us at least accept that you are not an investigator and therefore you may not follow exactly what you're saying. There is an interrogation that was done by 4 officers who were sent by the government of India as members of NIA. And they have
now Mahesh Jethmalani.
And now we want to believe some reports that come in.
No, I'm on only one point today, which is the truth of one piece of paper. Mahesh Jethmalani listened to your opening remarks, 7 minutes into the debate. Mr. Jethmalani, the ball is in your court. You've heard all the points made there by Brinda Grover at the start tonight, especially regarding this new document.
Well, I think that Brinda should first, and I'm going to say something in her favor, but equally she should accept that she can't accept the CBI charge sheet as the gospel, and she's also a lawyer for Ishrat Jahan's family. So her views are bound to be clouded. But I want to start, before I get into this document, I quickly want to say 3 things, Arnav. First of all, I want to say that me and my party both believe that even the worst terrorist deserves due process, with this caveat, that if there is clear and present danger, the police authorities concerned have a right to eliminate them, not in cold blood, but they have to take due care and caution in what they are doing. And thirdly, I'm not going to go, I know the charge sheet says that there's a fake encounter, but I'm not going to go into it because the matter is still sub judice. Once the Gujarat High Court ceases to monitor this charge sheet,
the issue
I will
of
have
the document.
to say about the veracity. Yes, now I come straight to the document. The document is very important from the point of view of the fact of motive in the case. Brinda cannot wish away this document because the charge sheet of the CBI, which alleges fake encounter, alleges no clear and cogent motive at all. Why would anybody kill 4 people, 3 admitted terrorists and 1 whose terrorist antecedents Brinda is now casting a doubt on?
She says the document has no relevance.
But the document has complete relevance because the document establishes motive. It establishes a motive that there were IB inputs which were passed on to the Gujarat police, and the motive was not to kill somebody in cold blood because 4 terrorists, however they were killed, I don't know. That is a matter of trial. But 4 terrorists, 3 confirmed, 1 in slight doubt according to me. 4 terrorists came to Gujarat with the avowed intention of committing terrorist acts, whether it was to commit
So you believe this document? Can I ask you one question?
Or other senior leaders.
Brinda Grover wants to respond to you. I want to ask you one question. I have two documents tonight of the NIA, okay? 2 documents, Mr. Jethmalani.
Yes.
This is one document which Brinda Grover says has 0 relevance. And there's another document. In fact, it's a letter produced by the NIA to the court by the Central Government's Counsel Pankaj Champanari on May 12, 2011, in which it says a version made regarding David Coleman Headley making statement on Ishrat Jahan is purely in the nature of hearsay. It does not have any evidentiary value. So, Mr. Mahesh Jethmalani, before we proceed right here, right now on the News Hour, answer my question. How do you believe what the NIA says in 2010, this document, but don't believe what the NIA said in 2011, this document. How do you believe one version of the NIA and not the other?
I will. I'll answer both that question straight away. And incidentally, that also touches upon Mr. Pilay's so-called Volkswagen. There is no consistency at all between what the NIA has said in the past and what it is saying today. The NIA report, the document you are seeing, which Brinda Grover very conveniently says suddenly appears in defense, is a very much part of a comprehensive report of the NIA interrogation of David Headley. This is undeniable. Let anybody from the Ministry of Home Affairs, including Mr. Shinde,
I think she should respond to you now. She raised her hand twice. She raised the hand twice. She's heard you, Mr. Jainaran Vyas. I'm coming to you.
Listen, no. Arnav, you gave her 7 clear minutes. I want only 4.
She raised the hand thrice. That's why I said I'll go to her.
Because I can keep raising my hand, but that doesn't mean it merits an interruption. Let me finish, because I have a lot to say about Brinda's client. 1 minute. Then she can respond comprehensively.
Don't make the debate personal.
But this halfway... Yeah, I'm not making it personal at all. I'm just saying, do not interrupt me when I'm in a flow. Because if that's the case, then I don't want to say
Continue.
You have now asked me a question. Just because Brinda raised her hand, it is no reason to cut short what I am about to say. The NIA has made no inconsistent statement. What was submitted, a 117-page report, which was submitted for the perusal of the government earlier, including to Mr. Pillay, was a sanitized report. And it was a sanitized report because it exorcised, it obliterated paragraph 168 deliberately. Now today you are getting an excuse, Mr. Goswami, from the government that the reason why we did it was because we had a solemn assurance, we had given a solemn assurance to the FBI that our interrogation won't refer to these aspects. I say that's a lie. That's a complete lie. This has been deliberately sanitized to portray, as Ms. Grover is doing, that Ishrat Jahan was an innocent victim and not a terrorist. This conclusively nails the lie that she was a terrorist, and apart from this document, there is substantial other evidence which nails that lie and establishes unequivocally that she was a terrorist.
Ms. Brinda Grover, your turn. Jainaran Vyas, I'm sorry to come to you late. After Brinda Grover's response to that, I will come to you. But a very important point raised. There is a published version of 2011 May. 117 pages don't mention the Ishrat module. This Ishrat module then comes up. So we come back to the same point. The government suppressed information. Information that could have evidentiary value. Brinda Grover, your response.
Two things. It's very encouraging to see that at least on constitutional principles, Mr. Jethmalani and I are on the same plane, and we don't think that people should be shot dead. The charge sheet, which he first said he was not going to talk about, he subsequently went on to talk about how a person who he had a slight doubt, by the end of the conversation, he was quite convinced about her antecedents and other links. Let us just
I had no slight doubt. You have a slight doubt.
What he may... I did not interrupt, and I hope we don't have interruptions. Let us just look at the other aspect that he mentioned, that some people came to cause some harm and terrorism over there. There is very, very cogent evidence today cited in the charge sheet, including in the nature of 164 statements before a magistrate in Mumbai of police officers, as well as farmhouse owners and employees, who say that these people were all held in prior custody. So the business of, was it necessary to kill them? Was this required because there was imminent danger? That aspect has been totally discarded, and we cannot entertain that argument anymore. Let the trial go on, and we will see where it moves from here. The third aspect of this NIA document, you had asked me that how do I think as a mere citizen? As a mere citizen, unlike political parties, I do not have access to documents that are now being thrown at us as authentic documents. The only document which you mentioned just now in the public domain, and which the NIA says is their report, does not mention the words, the name Ishrat Jahan.
But it is a censored document. It's a potentially censored document, edited document. That's the question.
Says who? Says who?
Well, say the facts.
Says who?
Say the facts.
Says you?
Say the facts.
No, let me just come to this.
Unless this paper is fake.
Where are these facts coming from? No.
The facts at hand, Ms. Grover.
We don't know the authenticity. Mr. Goswami, can I just finish, please? Please understand that at the center of this controversy is actually neither the NIA nor the MHA. At the center of this controversy is the IB, whose officers, including a very senior officer, Mr. Rajendra Kumar, whose intelligence input, who has been saying that these people are terrorists. That is the factor which is under investigation. That needs to be centrally placed here. And that, once that aspect has been interrogated and examined and investigated, will we be able to move any... No, let me finish one more thing. Insofar as... Yes, please.
No, one second. I just want to come in because I haven't gone to Mr. Vyas. Once, Ms. Brinda Grover, I'll come to you. You say today that you take the NIA document completely at face value. I just want to point out three things. Three things for your submission. G.K. Pillai retired, if I am not mistaken, in the summer of 2011. In November 2011, G.K. Pillai says she was part of a terrorist module. Okay? In December 2011, NIA submits a report of 115 pages which totally contradicts G.K. Pillai and does not make a mention of this document. Now this document comes up. This document is of 2010, by which logical assumption, the only logical assumption one can make is that there was an investigation going on. G.K. Pillai knew about it. G.K. Pillai spoke on the information which was there with him at hand. The government changed the facts in the NIA report presented in December 2011, exactly in the 11-month run-up to the Gujarat elections. And hence the possible fact that for political reasons facts were kept at bay cannot be ruled out, and there is a political context in which all of this is happening. That's the only submission I'm making tonight. Are you open to that point of view? Are you open to that?
Can I? No,
you're not.
Yeah, can I just respond to that very, very quickly? No, I haven't answered, so please don't answer on my behalf. The political context, why are there two persons of the BJP here to say that X is a terrorist and this document is, the so-called NIA report is correct? Why are they there? That is the political context. Who wants to stop this investigation from moving further? And who wants the portrayal of Ishrat Jahan as a terrorist? Who stands to gain from that? The answer is in
one of these gentlemen.
I don't think there is anything.
By the way, I reiterate most humbly that there was meant to be a Congress spokesperson who could not make it on the show 10 minutes before the debate started. Mahesh Jetpalani, it won't be fair if I come to you without going to Jayanarayan Vyas, because the second BJP person has not spoken yet. You've heard the argument she's placed tonight. As far as this new document is concerned, I don't think it merits a question. Your response to Brinda Grover, please, Mr. Vyas.
Thanks, Arnav. First of all, at least you realize that I am on the debate.
I'm sorry.
I thought I was balanced against the Congress spokesperson, so I'm glad. Thank you very much. Now, number one, the first thing I'd like to make as an observation is, I was carefully listening to what Brinda was saying. I admire her as the counsel of Shamima Kausar.
Yes.
And she argued her case very well. So she is well prepared for the courtroom presentation. If BJP is making anything that is politically tainted and biased, then what would you say for a lawyer who is arguing so strongly in favor of the client whom she represents at the court of law? So in the first instance, I will say that her views will obviously are going to be tainted, and therefore they should be discounted for whatever they are worth. I would endorse fully what Mahesh was saying. This story itself, as you know, Arnab, is full of twists and turns. MHA first has an affidavit, makes a U-turn and goes back on that. Then you have this NIA thing coming up. Today, again, the Home Minister of the country says that he doesn't say that there is nothing that says that she was a terrorist or she had a terror link or something like that. In a guarded manner, he would have said it if it was so. But he didn't do that. Very tactfully he says that because this is covered under the bilateral agreement between FBI and the CBI in this country, it is not in the public domain.
No, come to the
and
point. No,
therefore
Mr.
he
Vyas,
cannot
Mr.
divulge
Vyas,
the
let me ask you a question. No, let me pointedly pin you down on one question. My first question to you is, you believe this document? You and Mahesh Jethmalani believe this document? You believe the NIA document I put out? You think it's true? Okay. So Mr. Jethmalani says yes, fine. And I presume Jainar and Vyas, you say it's true as well. Now, if this document is true...
Go ahead, Adam. I'm listening to you.
Thank you. You see, this document says that in late 2005, Zakir Rahman Lakhvi introduced Muzammil to me. Right? It says in the meeting between Headley and Muzammil happened in late 2005. Mukul Roy, who's the other lawyer associated with this case, he rebutted this part by saying...
Mukul Sinha,
I'm so sorry. Mukul Sinha in his rebuttal to this said that another part of the same document says that Headley met Muzammil in 2002. Right? So I'm only playing devil's advocate. Tell me, Mr. Jethmalani and Mr. Jainar Vyas, how can one part of this document, if it is true, say that Headley met Muzammil in 2005 and another part say he met him in 2002? It's just not possible. Is it? It's not possible.
It's completely possible.
How?
It's completely possible because the first time he met Muzammil was as a trainee in 2002, and second time he met him when he had gone up the ranks in 2005. It's completely consistent.
No, Mr. Jethmalani, you're getting on thin ice out here.
That's not what he says.
I think I'm going to allow Brinda a rebut on this one. Yeah, I'm going to come back. Yes, Ms. Grover, go ahead. Let's go with the rebut. Let's go with the rebut. I'm allowing a rebut to Brinda Grover.
Let her allow a rebut.
Can I allow a rebut?
Let me also know if Mukul Sinha is correct, that he cannot meet him in 2002 and 2005.
No.
What are the evidences relying upon which he is making this statement? If you don't believe Mahesh, then tell me relying upon what you are trying to believe Mukul Sinha.
Relying upon what I am believing Mukul Sinha, you're asking me? You're asking me? I'm putting a question out.
If you don't believe Mahesh,
you're asking me.
I am asking you, Arnab.
You're asking me, thank you.
Because you are questioning, I am asking you, Arnab, because you are questioning the theory that is built up by Mahesh, the construction that he has made, and he has
please understand.
That 2002 he might have met him when
I am Mr. Jainar and Vyas. Mr. Vyas, one second. I am professionally trained to ask questions. That's what I'm good at. So I am asking you here that while this NIA document speaks of Headley being aware of the Ishrat module, there have been questions raised over the discrepancies in the NIA document with respect to the date that Headley met Muzammil. And by the way, the new NIA document, of which I have a copy, says that in late 2005, Zakir Rahman Lakhvi introduced Muzammil to be. The operational word being introduced. How can you introduce somebody for the first time in 2005 and introduce somebody?
That is what I wanted to point out, that the document that both the BJP spokespersons are clinging on as gospel truth.
Let her respond.
May I please speak, Arnab?
Yeah, go ahead. And then the others will respond to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, the document that they are claiming is gospel truth, which incidentally, just for all of us to remind ourselves, is the interrogation of a double agent trained by agencies of two states, Pakistan and the US. So I really don't know what kind of reliance we want to place on all this stuff. But for whatever it's worth, the document that they are relying upon, and that's exactly the portion I wanted to read out which you mentioned, on being asked about Ishrat Jahan, I state that in late 2005, Zakir Rahman Lakhvi introduced Muzammil to me. Having introduced Muzammil, Zaki talked about the accomplishments, etc., etc., etc. The next para says, Headley stated that apart from this, he had no other information/knowledge about Ishrat Jahan. So also to point to another question
I must fill in the blanks on the etc., etc. I must fill in the blanks on the etc., etc.
You can read all that. You can read all that, and of course you can read it. Don't worry, your other panelists have read it many, many times. Let me just finish on the so-called evidentiary value of this. So X says that Y told me that Z told him that he knows her.
Who decides?
I mean, this is brilliant. The other two people are also lawyers. Let me not show any disrespect to their legal acumen, unlike Mr. Vyas, who always commences his intervention by a personal attack, which I think is highly inappropriate.
Now, by the way, I just say, okay, etc., 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 was the part...
No, absolutely not. I think this identity, the people must know that you are a party interested in arguments you are making. What is wrong in it? Why
Have
you want to shy away from that
I was
introduction?
introduced as the lawyer of Shami. I was introduced as the lawyer of Shamima Kausar, Mr. Vyas.
I simply
It is
said,
I am a professional.
Brinda, I simply said
Anyway,
that
you
your
have nothing
views
to
cannot
say,
be
so
impartial.
you say it every time.
You are
Mr. Vyas, that is now-
your views cannot be taken as
Mr. Vyas,
impartial. Nobody in the world will, in the right sense of mind,
Mr. Vyas, we are all having a very...
Since you are representing
And they
a
will
client,
believe a
how can
BJP
you expect us to
spokesperson
certify
namely
whatever you are
defending his
saying?
party.
He is absolutely impartial.
I don't want any
I am simply
certificate
saying
from
your
you.
views
I am
may be
telling you,
biased.
argue on
I am
facts.
simply
Stop
saying your
boring the
views may be
public.
tainted.
Stop boring people.
I have simply said that you are the
Okay, you
lawyer
made
for-
your point.
I
Now,
heard you. I heard you.
you made your point. She's
And therefore-
no, one sec. Let's pull back. You've made your point. She's objected. You've reiterated your point. She said she heard you. Now I want to move on. One second, gentlemen. We are on a very critical point right now, where Brinda Grover says that the new document is perhaps inconsistent in fact. That this document cannot be believed, Mahesh Jethmalani, because
Apart from not, we don't know its authenticity.
Well, you don't know it's not authentic either, but Mahesh Jethmalani is responding to you.
Now, Arnav, the simplest.
Yeah,
the
I don't
simplest
know
way,
whether anybody
right?
else is a terrorist either.
All right.
Go on.
All right, Vrinda, when you've quite finished, let us know.
Go on.
All right, Arnav, whether this document emanates, as I said, it is paragraph 168 of the NIA's report. Out of its 117 pages, 168 and 169 were omitted. It was sanitized deliberately. Now, let the NIA, will the NIA please tell us, not what the Express has very insidiously said, but let the NIA itself tell us whether this formed part of its interrogation report of David Headley or not. First, let us do that, and then please tell us who is responsible for its sanitization and why. Those are questions which I am legitimately entitled to ask, not as a BJP member, but as a citizen of this country, entitled to know the state of affairs and the competence of
As
the
a-
National Terrorist
as a citizen.
Investigating Agency.
No,
That's point number.
Okay, continue.
Point number two. Point number two. When everybody accuses Mr. Pillay of doing a U-turn. Now please see what the Indian Express reports about Mr. Pillay's statement. He says, the reason why he's done this U-turn, this time, if it can be called a U-turn, is, to the best of my knowledge, there is no mention of Ishrat in Headley's 117-page interrogation report submitted by NIA before me. In other words, it was sanitized by whoever was forceful enough to sanitize it, even from the eyes of Mr. Pillay. Had he
You're saying the
got
Home
this
Secretary
paragraph,
was kept
had
in
he
the
got
dark.
this-
This is exactly the point.
The Home Secretary was duped.
Possibly,
The Home
Secretary was possibly duped. The facts were kept away from him. So 5 months after his retirement, he was saying one thing, and 3 weeks after that, something else happened in the NIA document. I'm sorry, but Miss Brinda Grover, as a citizen of this country, why would you not ask this question to yourself? Why wouldn't you?
I'm asking many, many questions. Unfortunately, some citizens do not wish to ask all the questions. I actually want to ask all the questions. I want to ask
them.
And since Mr. Jethmalani categorically said that he wants to know this as a citizen and not a BJP person, I think that's very important. As a citizen, he should want to know why 4 people in prior custody, regardless of who they were killed in cold blood, and then it was portrayed as a fake encounter by the crime branch of a state, and now under the scanner is the IB itself as well. Can I finish, please? as well as the political leadership whose names have come in a 164 statement by a police officer of Gujarat. I have never said so. So as a citizen, why is that question not relevant? Why is it not scandalizing? Why is it not worrying? This is the governance and the institutions that should be extremely
What
worried.
about the editing of the NIA document? What about the possible editing of the NIA document?
Very well, please ask the NIA, please ask the MHA, please ask the Intelligence Bureau, which also has the ear of the poor Home Secretary who today, suddenly we all are enlightened, has been duped. The Home Secretary is also provided information, as just last week everybody in BJP enlightened us
Prima
that
facie,
the IB reports to certain people in the central government. The Home Secretary must also have received information from the IB. Officers of the IB are under investigation. Let's look at those and ask many more questions. I am not shying away from this question.
I think he wants to come back into the debate. He's raising his hand.
As a citizen, I don't have answers to this.
Well, clearly you don't have the answers, but I'd reiterate tonight. I think I'd reiterate tonight that the Home Minister of India,
document or fake.
But the Home Minister of India cannot say that I can't disclose this fact because I have a deal with the United States of America to keep quiet.
That's the law.
Well,
no.
Why?
Yes, he can. Just
Really,
like
he can?
we have a deal
Why would
that
he?
we will not hang some person who's extradited from Portugal.
Well, I want to show.
This country is not going to be run on television channels.
I want to know.
It will be run by the law of the land.
That proves that.
Mahesh Jethmalani.
That proves that. Yeah. Now let's look at the other side of the picture, Arnav. Let's really, I mean, this is a very serious matter. Either it's a frame-up or it's not a frame-up. And Brinda is entitled to believe the charge sheet, which he so, passionately espouses of the CBI. But there are other questions on the other side. After all, the charge sheet is nothing more than a rehash of Mr. Tamang, the magistrate's report, which the High Court itself castigated as having been passed in
read it. It's 5,000 pages.
Let's do it. Brinda, I will ask you for the same patience which you requested me to have. All right? You can come back. You're most welcome. I'm as open as I hope you are to interrogation. Now, let me just say this. This incident happened in 2004. You represent the relatives of Ishrat Jahan. What were they doing between 2004 to 2007? Because in 2004, everybody accepted, thanks to the Gwaza Times, an LET mouthpiece who said that our operative, our Fidain in Gujarat has been killed and a veil has been removed. This was reported by 3 newspapers in India, apart from the Gwaza Times, the original source itself. Nobody said anything. What happens in 2007? And here is my charge, Brinda. What happens in 2007 is the very same LET, just before Mr. Pillay, Javed Sheikh's father, whose real name is Pillay, of course, but who got converted. Javed Sheikh's father files a petition. At the same time, the same LET, to lend elbow to Javed's father's petition, who I take it you are representing or somebody else is representing now, suddenly says that Ishrat Jahan was not a terrorist. 3 years later, and the timing is so significant. I say that the Ishrat Jahan family, the Javed Sheikh family, and the LET are hand in glove, and they are being supported by the Congress party and its mouthpieces.
30 seconds for a response now before I close tonight. It's fair to go back to Brinda Grover, please, one more time. Yes, please.
I have to. You have to. Thank you. Only on facts, Mr. Jethmalani. This is really sad because you're wrong on so many facts. August 2004.
Please tell me why. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Tell me why.
In August 2004, Shamima Kausar, the mother of Ishrat Jahan, filed a writ petition in Gujarat High Court seeking a CBI inquiry on 2 grounds, saying her daughter was innocent and was killed in cold blood. Her daughter had no terrorist links. This was in August 2004. You can go on the internet and see the Gujarat High Court orders. So it was not later in time.
What happened for 3 years?
The Times that has suddenly become... may I just speak? On July 28th, 2004, the so-called Gazwa Times has actually issued a retraction. It's available in the public domain. You only have to go on Google to find it. It is also interesting.
No, it didn't. It did it in 2007.
That you all have great faith. No, it did not. It's on July 28th, 2004. Please Google and find it. I have a hard copy. You're most welcome. Give me your address. I'll courier it.
Yes.
July 28,
Yes.
2004. It has been published only 3 weeks ago by all newspapers. I don't know how it missed you. Maybe it was vacation time. Let me just finish this.
It was vacation
Shamima
time.
Kausar, the mother of Ishrat
And perhaps-
Jahan, has
Perhaps you should take one.
I
too.
was in the country. Gujarat High Court was not closed, unfortunately, so some of us had to work. Shamima Kausar has been making this
Go
claim
on.
consistently. There are also articles, since everybody relies on news media nowadays, which actually say that the Gazwa Times says that they wrote the original piece because of the information received from the Joint Commissioner of Police Gujarat, who is P.P. Pandey, the absconding Gujarat police officer. So you can't first plant the information, which they within months retract. By August, she has already filed. And it is only much later that it is only
But
much
Mr.
later that
Jethmalani
the
and
investigation
Mr.
happened
Jethmalani and Ms.
because it
Grover.
was obstructed by the Gujarat
Mr.
state.
Jethmalani and Ms. Grover, while you quarrel on these facts, I have one question. Mr. Jainarayan Vyas, you're listening to this. Before I close
No,
tonight,
that's because we are giving wrong facts.
No,
We are
I
giving
understand
wrong
you.
facts.
Fine,
There is
but
No, we're not giving wrong
absolutely
facts.
nothing.
what is the
No,
question
one minute,
today?
let me complete.
What is the question
Please,
today?
no,
No,
let
one
me
second. What is the
complete.
question today?
Arnab,
What-
please.
The question.
Arnab, please wait. No, I will not.
What is the
Please
what
let
is
me
the
finish
perfume
what I'm
business?
saying, which is
What is the perfume business?
so to say.
What is the
so to
perfume
say,
business
So
that-
to say
what is
that
the
there is a
perfume business that
collusion
you're-
or a link between. That is not mine, that is Javed Sheikh. Javed Sheikh was Pranesh Pillai, who converted over a decade ago because he fell in love with a Muslim girl.
But-
so, people do these things.
But
I'm
there
sure
was
you
no,
know some people.
there was no,
The perfume business.
there was no.
I do not,
There was no
I am not
perfume
holding
business.
forth.
Ishrat
You are
Jahan,
absolutely right.
Ishrat
Correct.
Jahan was
You are
supposed to be
right.
working for that
You are
perfume
right.
business.
Why was she working? All right, since you want to
There
know
was
the
no
whole
perfume
story, you
business.
really missed the
You-
story in the over vacation. Very well, let me tell the whole story now, Arnab. I'm sorry this show will have to go on for much longer than necessary.
Yes, let it
Javed
go on.
Sheikh, it now appears from the investigation that Javed Sheikh may actually well have been working for somebody in the IB who is currently under investigation. So I really wish that part of the investigation is pursued. Ishrat Jahan is supporting her family after her father's
Come on,
death.
Vrinda, this
Okay,
is pure
one second.
speculation.
Takes tuitions. This is
No,
not
this is pure
speculation. These are
speculation
facts.
now. This is
She is taking
Where are the
taking tuitions. In the month of June, exams get over in Mumbai and children do not take tuitions. Mr. Jethmalani would know the
But her
school
mother said she
timetable better than me for Mumbai. For
her
that
mother
one
said-
month,
her mother said she-
she takes this employment. For that 1 month, she takes employment and actually was to now go back to her second year BSc, for which she had already paid fee. So there is record, her academic record, her attendance record. There is no
May I please draw you back into the debate, and I have only one question.
Get your facts right.
No, one second. I will now Miss Grover. Now Miss Grover. I actually.
Her mother said she worked for a perfume business which didn't exist.
Very well, people who are poor and innocent walk into these traps. Have you ever heard of people who need money going for an employment which turns out to be a fraud? Is that so shocking? In your entire career as a lawyer, you never came across this?
I am not going to go by your contrived imagination for your client.
I come back to the point.
I am saying probe Javed.
Come back to the point. The point is this. The point is this. Our Home Minister has refused to go on record about whether this NIA document of which I have a copy is true or false. And I come back to the question, Jainarayan Vyas, that if this copy is true, then Sushil Kumar Shinde will have to give us another explanation than say I'm accountable to the Americans. Sushil Kumar Shinde can't say I will not tell the people of this country whether this document is true. Because I told the Americans I wouldn't say so.
You heard him replying. Arnab, you heard him replying, so why do you want me to tell it in so many words? And is this for the first time that Mr. Shinde is giving these kind of replies?
Well, the ball is in Mr. Shinde's court.
Let me tell you, Arnab, let me tell you, Arnab, after all, with this very well articulated theory about Ishrat Jahan, when she went missing from her house for so many days, even not an FIR was lodged. Then what she was doing in some other
No. Now we will
hotel
we will
as husband
There
and
we go.
wife.
No.
There we go. Down the sleazy route we go.
No, we don't want to get
So,
to that.
you know,
I
these
have
are all
said.
On 12th June, she was abducted
These
from
are all
Vasad.
misleading facts.
On 12th June, she was abducted from Vasad, and that is a 164 statement
This theory doesn't make a sense.
I have said it.
It has been blasted
I have said it.
by now.
I have said
I
it.
want to know, has the government
If
of Gujarat,
somebody is abducted, their
can the
family
government of
members do
Gujarat
lodge
please tell me,
an
are they telling
FIR.
us why a farmhouse is being used
if
for detention
somebody